What's up, everyone? Welcome to Proof of News. I am Whit Gibbs here today with my awesome co-host Ethan Vera. Ethan, how you doing, man?
Hey Whit, it's there's huge forest fires right now in Vancouver, so I was like trying to hold down coughing all day in front of people and getting accused of having COVID, but
Uh,
holding it in all day long.
are the skies orange there too? I saw some pictures from San Francisco. Is it kind of the same thing up north?
I don't think it ever got that orange. That was like on day like one in SF. It looked like Blade Runner, but
Yeah,
it's like completely smoky. It's as if you're in the clouds right now.
that's crazy, man. Stay safe. That's hate to hear it. It seems like the wildfires this year have been terrible on the West Coast.
Yeah, yeah. It's I think Vancouver had like the worst air quality in the world. Like we passed like Delhi and Beijing, so not ideal.
Jesus, man. Well, the segue from there, it might be a little bit rough, but hash rate is at an all-time high. And we wanted to lead the show today with this news because it is big news for miners. You've got, Steve Barber tweeting out praying to Satoshi. Uh, and it's big news. So where are we at right now and how are things looking for the next week?
Yeah, so the 7 day simple moving average hash rate right now is at 141 exahash. Pretty insane. 7% climb week over week, and like you said, all-time high. So a lot of hash rate securing the Bitcoin network. The benefit is it's very secure right now.
Well, so is it secure because there's 7% added, or have we just added 7% in two or three locations?
That's a good point. It's unclear where this hash rate's coming from. I do know a lot of miners in North America are starting to get their M30s, as well as S19s, are still shipping in and S19 Pros. So it looks like these ASICs are arriving touchdown in the US and Canada and starting to get plugged in, which could be contributing to some of this hash rate.
Well, so I mean, Bitmain has shipments coming out every month until the end of the year. WhatsMiner obviously is keeping up with demand as well. So I mean, in theory, we should see a continued climb for the foreseeable future.
I think so, yeah. Like, well, rainy season may have a short-term downwards impact on hash rate. We're nearing the end of rainy season. I can't remember exactly the date of it, but I think we're coming up to it pretty soon. So
Mhm.
that'll have a short-term decline. But then, like you said, oh, then all those public mining companies that made all those announcements are going to start getting their machines, and it's going to keep climbing.
Well, I mean, yeah, we've got thousands of machines set to hit public mining companies here in the states. I mean, between Riot and Marathon, and then not private, but Core has a ton of machines and more coming in. Uh, um, but what does this mean? Like, grand scheme of things, how do you feel that this impacts miners at scale?
Yeah, really, this type of capacity coming online, it's going to require a higher Bitcoin price. So we're back over 8 cents a terahash now, but there is a time we were under eight, like 7.8, about 5 days ago. And so if you really think that all these people are going to get their orders and Bitmain's going to be on time, that's going to be at least another like 20, 30 exahash added on. In like 12 to 15 months, we could see like 25 trillion difficulty. And if there's no positive movement on price, that's going to be a place where the value of hash rate's down to like 6 cents a terahash. And like how many miners are really, going to be profitable at that level? And is mining even a good investment at that point? So with all this additional capacity on, I think it has to bank on the fact that Bitcoin price goes above 15, potentially above 17K, or else it's not a good investment for anyone putting money in, regardless, even if you have 2 cent power.
Number go up. So this is the eternal debate, right? Does price follow hash rate, or does hash rate follow price? So it sounds like from what you're saying, in this case, price is going to have to follow hash rate.
I think
Picking it,
price
I'm
needs
putting
to.
I'm
I
putting
don't
you
think
firmly on a
it's
side here, Ethan.
well. I don't think price is influenced by hash rate, but I do think that it has to increase to support the level of hash rate. or else hash rate will fall again. Leo Zhang had another amazing piece on the alchemy of hash power. Really recommend going and checking out his part 2 of that blog, where he talks about the relationship between price, hash rate, and even the expectation of it. And
Absolutely.
shout out to Leo Zhang for working further with hash rate too. That's big news.
Oh,
You can't
yeah.
sneak his picture on the website without me noticing. His
Oh,
guy.
man. Yes, we have revamped the website. Leo is on as an advisor. He's been a big help to us. But there hasn't been a public announcement until right now. So, all right. Outed.
Breaking the news.
Yes. Hey, that's why we're here, right? So what else about hash rate? I mean, we've got a projected 12% increase in difficulty in the next week.
Yeah, we're about 185 blocks ahead right now in this difficulty block. That means that we're on pace to on Saturday. We're going to increase the difficulty by about 12%. So if we're at 8.5 cents per terahash, that's going to decrease 12% on Saturday. It's going to be quite painful for some miners.
What are we looking at? Like 9-minute block times right now? 8.5?
Does it have it on this?
No, I think I saw somebody did the math. Maybe it was Marty that the blocks are coming every just about 9 minutes now, which I mean, it would make sense if we're that far ahead. Oof. So projected retarget is next Saturday. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be Saturday, 5 o'clock, I think Eastern time.
Wow. Okay. So that's a big change in difficulty. How have you been looking at the futures contracts that SFX has or that FTX has, and how those are being impacted or changing over this period of time?
Yeah, I was trading them, but I also traded like a fool. I thought that the settlement date was the 31st, and I had no idea that it's actually the 24th. And then I kept messaging the FTX team like, is this actually the settlement date? Like, why does it settle like a week before the quarter actually ends? And they explained to me that's just like how options normally settle. I'm obviously not an options trader, so I didn't really realize that. I would have figured it would be like end of month. So I was kind of trading them poorly, maybe not even poorly. I still think I probably put the right trades in because of the huge increase. But those contracts are heavily mispriced. I think they still are. If after this call you want to log in and make a trade on FTX, I think it could still be a winning one.
I wonder how, and I haven't checked volumes, but I wonder if they're seeing value in having those contracts listed. Has volume been?
I think Sam's so like caught up in sushi and DeFi that he probably hasn't thought about mining in like a month.
I mean, in all fairness, I can't say I blame him, right? If you're running a business, you got to strike where it's hot, and I mean, there's no mistake about it that there's way more attention on DeFi shit coins and everything therein as opposed to the hash rate contract. So I can see why Sam is focused there. Okay, so aside from Hashprice, there is another big piece of news that I believe was released yesterday regarding Bitmain and Core Scientific. What's the headline?
Yeah, so it's increase of their partnership. Obviously, we've known Bitmain and Core Sci has been tight for some time, and they've announced a couple of partnerships in the past, but this one's really impactful. Basically, Core Scientific is going to become their repair center in North America. That's the problems were highlighted with S17, but people really realize that if your machine fails, the worst thing in the world to do is send it all the way back to like Shenzhen or Hong Kong for repair. Like that's really annoying. It costs you a lot in shipping fees. It costs you a lot of time. Potentially hit with another tariff. I've heard of that in a couple of cases. So having the repair center in the US is huge. I think Russell came out with that. It's going to save as much as like $100 per unit expected. So yeah, super happy that that's coming out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Shout out to the guys at Core Scientific. I interviewed Taras for Hashrate podcast earlier this week. That show will actually drop on Friday. I think this may drop on Friday, maybe Monday, but it's they're definitely huge proponents for the continued growth of mining in North America. And I mean, it had to happen, especially with everything around the S17s. I mean, I think that this is just a clear necessity for Bitmain. And I mean, with everything that they have going on behind the scenes, this is probably, a big win for them as well. Some positive press for once, outside of, them partnering with someone that they're sending 2,000 machines to. So some
Yeah.
good news, for Bitmain finally, which is
Good news for
good.
Bitmain, yeah.
Yeah, it's good, man. Like, I think it's very easy to like shit on Bitmain, right? But this is good. Hopefully it benefits all miners in North America, and it should save them some money.
It is, yeah. Like repair and warranty is like the biggest things that are on miners. Mine obviously once they purchase it, but it's huge. And yeah, Core Sci is continuing to push it, the envelope here. They're kind of like the parent in the room. It feels like in mining right now. They're consistently doing great things. I got a chance to meet Taras in person earlier this weekend. Yeah, he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah, Taras is good people. It's yeah, that was a fun conversation. But he and Russell, I think, are doing a great job. And Core is going to continue to thrive. So hats off to them for making this happen. Big win for everyone in North American mining, and this will probably lead to a nice little push in growth for Core. Obviously, gives them a leg up on all of their hosting competitors out there with having this deal inked and the partnership so closely aligned with Bitmain. So hats off. Next story, also involving Bitmain. On the flip side of it, right? A little bit of a lawsuit action going on in China. So what's the story with Bitmain with Bitmain and Poolin?
Yeah. Let me caveat this by saying that everything I say now could be completely incorrect because I've gone like some information sources, but like obviously I don't know what happens in China. And also like I have no idea how legal procedures work there. Like you and I were Jen, before the show, like have you ever like delved into a Chinese court case before and actually like
No, never. I have no inside information on how the Chinese courts work.
you got to think it's like similar to ours, but just with like a few more Rolexes.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I guess I could see there being some of that. I don't know. I mean, just seeing how the business dealings have went, with the infighting at Bitmain and how there's, army storming offices, I can't imagine what it's like taking someone to court there.
Yeah. Yeah. So on this case, like basically Bitmain has a few different mining pools. They have Antpool, BTC.com, and a stake in via BTC. Some of the original guys in BTC.com, a lot of us have met them, like Kevin, Pang, and Chris Zhu. They left to go start Poolin. And I think what Bitmain wasn't super happy about was that they potentially have taken some of the code from BTC.com and potentially some of the customers, both alleged. And basically they think that they broke their non-compete acts or non-competes with Bitmain and profited over 30 million since. So Bitmain tried to sue them for 30 million to take back those damages. The court ended up deciding that those damages didn't actually exist and that Poolin actually wasn't profitable, and just slapped each of them on the wrist with like a 150, 200K US fine. So Bitmain ended up losing that lawsuit.
Yeah, pretty substantially. I mean, 30 million, 300K. I mean, then again, that's got to be a tough lawsuit to try and file. I mean, I guess they were suing over some kind of non-compete.
Yeah,
and going after Bitmain's clients. I'm sure that was a big part of it. But
yeah, here's a pool chart over time. We can look at the rise of Poolin. So this is a 3-year chart. Poolin is yellow. BTC.com. Oh man, why didn't they color code this better? It's this middle bar here. This like light red.
It's like a Bob Ross painting. where is okay? I see F2 pool. We got Slush. others, which are inevitably just other Bitmain pools. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, there's obviously like Poolin, when the founders left to start their own pool, they knew what they were doing, and for sure they had relationships that they were able to take with them. I mean, that happens, right? It's just,
Yeah.
you know, how proprietary is the information that they had access to. You know, I mean, in the States, non-competes are really tough to uphold as well, like it's,
Oh, they're anti-innovation, right? The state, like, it goes against like the culture of innovation to like limit your employees to go build businesses. Like the whole point of society is like, let's build better things. So I'm not a huge fan of non-competes either.
well, and I mean, how many businesses have started because somebody left a company because they were disgruntled or butthurt or felt stymied, and then they launched something that went on to be a massive win for society. So, it is what it is. I think that this is a good resolution ultimately for Bitcoin, and it just decreases the perceived power that Bitmain has over the mining industry. I think if we would have heard that, Poolin would have been slapped with some kind of serious, fine for damages of 30 or 40 or 50 or 100 million, it would have been a nasty shot in the arm to Bitcoin mining in a way that we just don't want to see, right? Especially considering everything that's going on with Bitmain right now. It's, how many different fronts can you fight on,
Yeah. Yeah. Poolin's playing a vital role in the ecosystem. They're decentralizing Hashrate, like you said, it from Bitmain. Obviously, even head to head with F2 Pool. So it's awesome to have them in. They're pushing the envelope with some of those financial services. With the mining pool panel on the Hashrate podcast, Alejandro was diving into those. So yeah, I like the Poolin guys a lot. I'm happy how it turned out.
Yeah, those Poolin guys are all right, except for Alejandro. He's got some work to do. No, no. So last story, and it's been kind of a light week, right? It's been, I think, heads down. People are just mining, praying that the difficulty doesn't adjust too far. It's unfavorable for miners. But okay, so last story that we've got, we're going to talk about the rig prices that are out there right now. What's been going on?
Yeah, so a quick update. I'll run through this. New gen machines are up 1.2%, second gen down 1%, third gen down 15%, and the oldest gen down, it's relatively flat around zero. So biggest correction was that third gen. We saw like 3 weeks of heavy increase, so it seems like the market's just correcting itself now. But nothing too kind of major there across the other generation machines. Mostly still the same, chugging along. Same type of supply constraints, but also people starting to get new machines as well.
Those old machines, they're going to make a comeback in a big way. I mean, people who hoarded were smart. I mean, everyone who dumped them, right? I'm sure they had their justifications for selling them when they did. But I have a sneaking suspicion we are going to see an increased lifespan out of those S19s, or I'm sorry, those S9s for quite a while. Especially if, like Ethan predicted earlier, price follows hash rate.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're tying you to that one, man. So Ethan, what else? Is there anything else on your mind that you want to discuss before we wrap up this episode of Proof of News?
No, I think that covers it. I mean, I'm super excited to see Leo join you guys as an advisor. Leo is like one of the smartest guys I know in the space, and you guys are obviously awesome. So excited to see what you guys can do together. The other news, I guess, is Amanda heading over to DCG Foundry. They're building an all-star team there with Kevin Zhang. So there's a lot of good, powerful teams forming. It's good to see.
Yeah, congrats to Amanda. That's awesome. Really excited for her and that move. It's excited to see what comes from it. Like, I know very little about what's going on at DCG other than, some of the basic stuff that's been talked about in the press. So I'm excited to see what that team is up to. Should be something big considering their backing, considering the team they have. I think they're going to have a massive impact on North American mining. So let's see. Well, all right. If there is nothing else, I think we're going to wrap it up here at Proof of News for this week. We'll be back next week for more of the most important news in Bitcoin and in mining. From us here, we'll talk to you guys again soon. I'm Whit. This is Ethan, and we are out. Thanks for watching this episode of Proof of News, a Hashrate TV production. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for more great content like this every day of the week. In addition, feel free to leave a comment below and let us know what you'd like to see discussed on the next episode of Proof of News. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you head over to hashrate.com, you can sign up for our free weekly newsletter, Difficulty Adjustment. Every Wednesday morning, we provide you with the latest news and information on Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and mining. Plus, each week, one newsletter subscriber will be selected at random to receive a free Ledger Nano S cryptocurrency wallet. So go ahead and sign up today. Who knows? You may be the next lucky winner. Want more from Hashrate? Follow Hashrate TV on Twitter. It's the easiest way to keep track of our newest content all in one place. That's at HASHR8_TV. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you very soon. Please remember that all content appearing on this or any other Hashrate channel is strictly for informational and entertainment purposes only. You should not construe any such information as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Consult a licensed financial advisor before investing yours or anyone else's money.